Welcome everybody.
Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Martin, and with me today is Lotte. Hi, Lotte.
Yes, hi. Welcome everyone.
And hopefully you have watched the presentation or the video that was online in the on the website of Saxion. And now it's the time to ask questions if you have any. I've just put into the chat on the right the rules and regulations for this, otherwise it will become quite a mess. So please, if you have any questions, raise your hand right away. And but maybe I also have some generic things that I can share with you, and questions might pop up. So let's start with are there any questions? Please raise your hand by touching the raise your hand sign on the bottom, and then Lotte and I will be happy to answer the questions. Yep. Let's wait a minute and see if there's any specifics. Otherwise, Lotte, we will talk about different things and topics, okay?
That's all right.
Put a poll in.
It's first hand.
Yeah. Well, Max.
Let's see, how can we do that? In the chat, maybe, the questions, or?
The chat, and there's not too many people, so we can also give them let him talk. I don't know if we can do that. Okay, Max, we've seen your hand, so let's have a look. Oh, once more.
Max, let's check.
Max,
oh, yeah, I
here.
can.
Here he is. I think. Okay, while you are looking at how to add Max, there was a question from somebody else, and the question was, Ruben, waar word je precies voor opgeleid? Okay, I have to answer this in English, Ruben, because I'm not sure who's online. Actually, the education of hotel management is quite broad. What we do is we bring you into a hotel management context. So in the first year, second year, and partly third year, you will be put into class, and we have context of hotels. So you learn how hotels operate in marketing, in finances, and everything. And from that perspective, you learn how hotel operation functions, but you are able to work in different industries. A lot of people will probably end up not in hotels, only 30%, and most of the other students will end up in different companies, like event companies, airline companies, but even in retail. What type of jobs? Well, think of managerial jobs. So I think you could be team leader, you could be a director, but you can also start your own business. So actually, the three pillars: business, human interaction, a lot of communication, I think, are most of the basis of this. And then, of course, since it's hotel management, we will add hotel management context. Is that you agree with that, Lotte?
Yes, well, I will add hospitality as well, because hospitality companies, those are our most important context, actually.
Yeah.
So for example, if you look at internships, you can also do your internship at Dr. Utker, for example. It's
Absolutely.
it's not only hotels.
No, it's actually any company with hospitality aspects that is looking for somebody who can turn that hospitality aspect into a business or help out. It doesn't even have to be only commercially driven. You could also work for a non-commercial companies or in healthcare, for instance.
Yeah.
I see Max's question is posed now. Difference between Deventer and Apeldoorn. It's a good question, because the hotel management education as we offer it is only offered in Apeldoorn. Although our school is called Hospitality Business School, which is hotel management, tourism management, and facility management. Hotel management is only offered in Apeldoorn in 2 languages, so the Dutch program and the English program. Is that clear, Max? Yeah, probably is, but if it's still not clear, then let me know.
Yeah, well, and tourism management and facility management, they are offered in Deventer, so that's the difference between the 2 of them.
Yeah. And in Apeldoorn, we have quite a luxurious position, I must say, because it's only higher education, so hotel management and security management from Saxion who are in the building. So that means that in Apeldoorn, yeah, it feels it feels family-like. Is that the right expression, Lotte?
Yeah. Well, I always say you're not a number, but you really know each other by name, and also the lecturers and everyone. If you see each other in the hallway, you can make a chat or something. It's really personal, I think.
Yeah, I think if you a lot of students and parents also who visit our open days or come to the school just on an actually an open day, ask us. So what is the difference between your school and other hotel schools? And then it's always tough to explain the differences. We could look at similarities. All hotel schools will educate you for the same type of education. You all get your diploma in Bachelor of Hotel Management. But the difference is exactly as Lotte said. A lot of students say that they admire the setup of our school, which is the environment you get your education in. But at the same time, we do have differences with our hotel schools because our view on practical education is a bit different. We believe that practical education takes place in the real practice. So a lot of internships and take place in the industry itself and not at school. And we do have some facilities to teach you the basics, but we're not there to learn you to cook and to clean the rooms. That is things you will practice in the real world, or not, Lotte?
Yeah, that's true.
I think you learned. Yeah, you learned a lot. Could you elaborate a bit on the internships you did?
Yeah, well, I did 1 internship for now. In the 2nd year, I went to Tenerife, a Spanish island, and I was front office agent at the Ritz-Carlton Alabama, a huge resort over there. It was amazing. I learned all the operational aspects of hotel management, actually. And now I'm in the 3rd year, and in the 4th year, I'm going on an internship again. Well, it's not really sure if, if my internship will continue in September because of the Corona crisis. But let's hope so. And that will be a management internship at the headquarters of Pillows Hotels as a marketing intern. So, yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, I see I make a type error. Sorry, Max. I said come, but I come back to the question I was going to say. You asked the difference between the Dutch and the English version. Well, maybe Lotte can tell something about that as well, because you had the chance to do one of them, and since you're Dutch, you choose to do the English one. Why was that? And what is to you the difference?
Well, first of all, for me, it was a challenge to improve my English. I thought it's very important in this business to speak English very well. And besides that, I think in the English class, it's also an international class. So it's with different cultures, people from Asia, from America, from South America, East Europe, all different cultures together makes it you learn a lot from each other. Everyone has different ideas and opinions, and I think it adds something to the study.
Yeah, it's interesting for me from a lecturer's perspective. I have to I agree to what Lotte is saying. It really adds to what you normally would learn, because the international aspects, different cultures will also give a different view on on things. What's for Dutch people, if I take Dutch people for instance, what for the Dutch man or Dutch girl is very common on a certain topic, because you live in Holland, you know you have your opinion about things. Being in class with other people from different countries makes it that you have different views on these things, and that leads to different interesting discussions, and also to self-reflection, because you see that sometimes your own opinions are totally different, or and not wrong, but just different. And I think the richness of that will help you to, I think, be more agile in the industry later on, because you can adapt. Not saying that the Dutch Dutch School of Hotel Management it is not leading you to more international and broader scope, but I think the extra dimension of having other people in there helps. Yeah. Lotte, you said, I hope the internship will still go on. We don't know, huh? We don't have a crystal ball to look into that.
No, we don't know. A lot of hotels
Yeah.
are closed now, especially
Yeah.
what I know in the Netherlands. So yeah, we really need to see how the virus develops. So it's all insecure.
Yeah, I see that. I hope I pronounce your name right, Arthurelia. Does Saxion provide internships, or do we have to find it ourselves? The process is a bit of both, actually. So what we do is we look at internships and see what are the possible countries. That's one. We look at safety and possibilities, and also work level. Then we look at possible change that we work with, and positions, because you have to understand that we need to make sure that you don't organize everything yourself and then find out that the internship is not fitting the needs you have, but also not according to what the school standards are. So a school will help. We have an account management system in place. So some of our lecturers have, well, actually several of them have an extra job in looking after jobs in certain areas in the world. Students have to sign in for a certain country. You do the intake, and then actually you start applying for the job yourself within the possibilities that we have offered. So from that point on, it is up to you. It's not that we will apply for you and give you the position. You have to apply yourself. Some of these positions are also given to other hotel schools, so you are not in battle, but you have to fight for the place, and some are more exclusively for us. Isn't that right, Lotte? I think you went to Spain, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Spain.
And was that the process? You were in touch with Almudena, our colleague for Spain, and then you had to apply yourself?
Yeah, well, first of all, I had a chat with Almudena, what I really want and what I really wanted to learn over there, because it was already sure that I would go to Spain, but where in Spain I could choose, and gave me some options, and we discussed, and then yeah, my decision was to apply for the Ritz-Carlton Alabama, and then I wrote a motivation letter and then sent it to Almudena. She checked it for me and sent it to the hotel. Yeah, together with my CV, of course.
I also see a question. Yeah, you're welcome, Australia. I also see a question from Simona. She's asking, do they start the lesson from the beginning or at a certain level? Prior knowledge for like economics. Good question, Simona. Yeah. Let's have a look in general a bit on what the level is, and maybe then Lotte can confirm or not confirm my thoughts on it. So if you look at economics, things you had on high school, and I assume you have done high school, or did you do MBO? What even if you did MBO, so secondary level vocational studies, or high school, the level kind of how do you say that, aligns with where you end. So what you have done on calculations and economics on high school gives you a good basis. What now is added extra is the context of hotel management. So you will learn to use these calculations into budgeting for a hotel, into to create yeah, to see whether an investment would be worthwhile doing. And of course, we'll start from the beginning. Yeah? First, you do basic calculations in event management, where you have to calculate the profit and the cost price and things like that. So I think that for economics, it is kind of in line. The language is a bit different. The languages start at HAVO 5 level. Although if you choose French, we'll see that looking at the different people coming into our school, that most of the time our lecturer for French is kind of looking at what level is feasible. English starts also at HAVO 5 and is quite important, as you can imagine. And for Spanish, we'll start at scratch, actually. And the rest of the curriculum, it should match your previous studies. But of course, it's very personal. It's very personal to looking at your own background. Yeah. How was that for you? And in the meantime, I'm looking at what Simone is saying. Lotte?
Yeah, Simone is saying that she did
Did have
high secondary school.
Yeah.
Oh,
So no, we didn't have economics. Yeah, but you did have M&O, I think it's called, isn't it? Where you
no,
also
no,
look at everything.
No, that's
Tell me, Lotte.
choose. Yeah. Well, I think for languages you're totally right, and but for economics, I think they have a new procedure as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I started I'm now a third-year student. When I started in the first year, I had economics and management organization on high school. So for me, it wasn't difficult, but I remember that for some of my fellow students, economics was really difficult because they didn't have it on high school. But now they have a new procedure. They will start with economics in the second quarter, and in the first quarter they will support you to the level, to the level of the
That's
end of
needed.
HAVO, I think. Yeah, so that you will be in the same line with your fellow students, and that you have the level to actually follow the economics classes. So I think you may not be worried about it. That will be okay.
No.
Yeah.
And if you're doing VBO at the moment, I think your basic skills on mathematics are most of the time are fine. So do not worry too much about that. Does that answer your question, Simone? Bloop, hopefully. Yeah. Oh, Max is saying something. If you decide during the studies that English version is not too that is the oh, okay, Simone. That is the escape that you have as a Dutch person in this program. Yes, since the modules and the credits are exactly the same, if you look at the English version or the Dutch version, you have the escape to go to the Dutch version after 1 year. The only thing is that you've been in a class for already a year. You have been used and brought up in the culture of the international curriculum. And for some students who did go through this process, it was quite something to get used to a new class with the Dutch people again, totally, and other peoples. But it is possible, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Are there more questions?
Shall I, in the meantime, just open the sheet on the first year so they have a look at what type of topics that take place in the first year?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Hopefully that works. Okay, so if there are any questions, just post them during my talk. But let me take you through just to get a glance on the first year. Hopefully you can see the sheet in the middle, and it says the 3 pillars. And I already talked about the 3 pillars in the beginning a bit: hospitality, business, and communication. And you see that our first year would look like this a bit. So world of hotel management is all to do with hotel related topics. Think of getting wine classes, but also learning about food, but also the trends and developments around food, food issues. So we will not get you into becoming an expert on food and beverages, but it is important that you understand the structure of hotels or organizational charts and things like that. Topics like world of hotel management are also in line with hospitality worldwide, so bring it into an international context. And the third one, event organization, is really quite unique for the way we educate our students on practical skills. So apart from all the internships we let you do in the second and the fourth year, we have event education. And with a group of people, you organize an event, and within that event, you take a certain role. Yeah, you can be the leader or the financial manager, and you organize one on paper first, and the second one will be a real event for a real client. And if by doing that, we'll make sure that you enter this real world of organizing something really for a client. It gives an extra dimension, extra push, I think, to do it a bit different than whether it was at school. And these events could take place in school with an internal client, but also with external clients. What did you do on that, Lotte? Can you remember that? It's been long ago or not?
Yeah, well, event organization, we had it in the first year for half a year and in the second year for half a year. In the first year, you organize an internal event, so an event for Saxion, so you're a bit supported by Saxion, so you can learn the basic skills. And in the second year, it's called event management, and you organize an event for an external client. So it means, you're really going into practice. You do not have the support or the support. Your client is not Saxion anymore. So,
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more serious, but you are supported by your teacher and by student assistant, of course. But you're operating in the real world. Yeah.
Yeah, and to add up, if you add up the event organization modules, the event management modules, and all the internships, you get into you will gain a lot of practical experience you can use for later on. So that is the hospitality part. In the middle, you see business part. We also already had some questions about that. So indeed, business economics, but also marketing. I mean, you need to see how you can make a hotel successful and how you would promote the hotel or any other business. Danique, please ask your questions. Do you want to ask your questions in the chat, please? You also go on a study trip in the first year. That's really nice to get to. Oh, she's leaving. Yeah, it's nice to get into different concepts, but also to get to bond with your fellow students. And of course, the last part, communication. Languages are really important. Academic writing, personal development, anything on you as a person, because at the end of the day, hospitality industry is a personal business. So you need personal communication is really important. So hopefully that gives you a glance on what we do in the first year. Second year, half of it is internship. I think I have an overview of that if you like. Yeah, there we go. So half of it is internship. Most of the students go abroad during the second year. That's also what you did, I think, huh, Lotte?
Yeah, I went to Spain. So there's a requirement that you have to go half a year abroad. So I thought, well, let's do it in the second year because I don't know how I am and how my situation is in the fourth year. So yeah.
Good. And then when you're back, you'll be put in a module called entrepreneurship, and that's where you kind of create your own company. And after that half year, we'll move into the second part of the education, which is the more strategic part. We have a semester in strategic management, where you have to learn to look at a hotel, creating a hotel in another country, together with a group of people, and it challenges you to look at strategic questions. And in the fourth year, the minor, so that's free you're free to do anything you like there. You can study at another university, you can do a management internship if you like. And then the last part is the thesis, so the end project that ends up the studies. There's two questions, I think, on the right. How is the selection days for students who live outside? Yeah, Christian, good question. The selection procedure is as follows. Once you sign in for a school, you get an invitation to with a few things. You have to do your CV and motivation letter. Then there is an online test. It's a diagnostic test, so it's just to see where you stand with calculations and also languages. So diagnostic test, CV and motivation letter. And you have to upload a video of about 8 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, answering certain questions. So those questions can be on explain your motivation, look at your hobbies, your work experience, and that video it will be uploaded in YouTube. I have access to it, hopefully. I'm one of the admission officers together with my colleague Jos. And what we do is then, after we've looked at those the video and the letters, we'll get in touch with you and ask you to for a Skype interview of about 15 to 20 minutes maximum, just to get to know you a bit better. And based on all those things, you get approval or not to start at a school. So let's round off. Let's add up motivation letter and CV. You do the test, and you have a video, and we'll discuss all these things in the little interview we do, which is planned through Skype. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. For the people in the Netherlands doing the same education, so choosing for this English school, you do the same things. The only thing is when you live close to Apeldoorn, we would advise you to just come to school and have the interview there. Although in the situation we're in right now, it will be online as well. So Christian, hopefully I answered your question there. Damie, it's very important to speak and write English fluently for the education. Damie, good question. No, you don't have to be fluent on English, but you do have to. You should not be afraid to just speak up and practice. The richness of your vocabulary doesn't have to be at a certain level, not at academic level, for instance, but it is good that you are able to express yourself in such a way that it won't block communication with others. And of course, the writing skills, a lot of the reports also have to be in English. So the writing skills you need to have are in line with what you end up at your high school, I think. Were you fine with that, Lotte, with the level of English you started off with?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I always used Google Translate during classes and everything. Yeah, but later on, your vocabulary will improve and will expand, and I think you do not have to worry about that. No. It will be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you also learn from each other by being in these surroundings where you have to talk English and discuss things in English. You kind of will be brought up in doing this automatically. And I think the internships will also help because during internship, well, you went to Spain, but I think you also spoke a lot of English there or not?
Yeah. That's true.
Max is asking how many students follow this study per year. Okay, Max, in total, we have around 180 to 190 students starting in the first year. That means 130 in the Dutch program and around around 50, 40, in between 40 to 60 in the English program. That differs from year to year, and we never know 100% because it's also depending on if people sign in from, let's say, Vietnam or other countries where they have to arrange a lot of things like visa and stuff. Then it might, we're never 100% sure how many people will show up. But I think in general it's about 40 to 45. Isn't it, Lotte? How big was your class when you started with? I think well, it was with me.
Yeah, I think we had quite a big class. We had two big classes actually. So I think we started with around 60 students.
Mm-hmm.
But now I see in the first year I see less, like 40 or 50. Yeah. Depends on the year.
Aurelia is asking for international students, what is the English requirement? Let's do we have to take a test, or do we need to take TOEFL? Good question. I think, if I'm not mistaken, is that if you look at the Cambridge English level, it should be a B2 if I'm not mistaken, but you don't have to do a test. So if you have the logic, if you have a pre-education diploma including English, I think most of the time will be okay. Of course, during the meeting we have online, during the Skype meeting, I would try to find out whether you will be able to manage within the international class looking at your English level. But the exact rules and regulation, I have to double check, but we can find out for you. What type of, if I can ask Australia, where you're from? What is your background? Oh, she's asking, replying. Okay. She probably will reply. Okay, I'm from Sri Lanka, but I have my bachelor's. Yeah. Then I don't think you have a problem there with the background of your English. Yeah.
From the US.
Yeah. Oh, from the US, so that will be even better then. Yeah. I think no problem there. Yeah. There is some students who don't have the right profile, Dutch students mainly, who don't have the right profile because it lacks a second language. Sometimes that happens. But if that happens, if you're deficient on one of the languages, you can do a test and to check whether if you're on track or on the right level with your second language. Let's say you didn't have French, or you stopped having French after the third year of HAVO, you might have a test and check whether your French level is still is at the right level. If not, you have to do some extra education organized by yourself, and you can do the test before you start school. If you pass the test, you're still able to start at our school. Did we have people in our class? I think Ruben did that, or not, Lotte?
I actually don't know.
You had second language, two second languages, foreign languages.
Yeah. Actually, I did the German language on high school, but I didn't use it at this school. But yeah, it's fine.
You picked French. Oh, sorry,
I picked
Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish. Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions from you guys? Let me get through the PowerPoint to see what it is we're looking for, actually. So that might also be interesting to look at for a moment. The characteristics that we are looking for, hopefully you recognize yourself in the things which are on this PowerPoint. You like to explore the world, embrace complexity, look for new opportunities, also proactive. Being in class, working in projects, you have to be proactive. If you're not proactive and just wait, it won't happen. It also says be creative, and then students tell to me, I'm not creative, but they are sometimes not aware that they are. Being creative is also being proactive and think open, be open to new things. And of course, being social and having a network, that would be nice too. being flexible and open for chaos. Yeah, well, Lotte,
Yeah.
things change during a year or not? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wasn't flexible at all, and I wasn't open for chaos at all. But well, you will during your studies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's good. So I
yeah,
mean, yeah. If you have a heart for hospitality, you like to do something in this business, whether it is as I just started, whether it is in a more commercial driven area or more much more on social level. I mean, this education might be just good for you.
yeah.
There's a question again. During my bachelor, I've taken some business classes, but only during the first year, very basic. Am I able to transfer some credits? Okay, credits previously. Previous credits from previous schools is always looked at when you start here at school. We'll look at what you have been doing and see whether it will lead to some credits you can use. The only thing is, in the first year, let's say you had some basic business and economics, whatever, and we say, well, you don't have to do the exam on business economics. You get an exemption for that. It will save you some time during the quarter, during the year, but it will not save you any time to finish the school any sooner than in 4 years. The only possibility with that is when you have a relevant internship done at previous education, we can grant you with half a year less internship. So that would be the only possibility. But of course, if you have credits that you've used in previous education, we could look at giving exemptions on the exams that are relevant for those. Bloop, it says. What is that? Thank you.
You.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Let's see. It says maybe that's something to also put some attention on is freedom. Choose your personal profile. Of course, you don't have the freedom to choose any module, every module yourself. But as I said, in the first year, we like to get everybody on a certain basis, so that's quite fixed. But I mean, the freedom is that you can pick your own hotel where you want to do your own internship in any country that fits the requirements of a school, but you're still free to choose that. And after the second year, then you have the freedom of choosing certain modules that actually are more in line with what you want to do in your future. If you, for instance, are really keen on becoming an event manager, I can assume that you want to have your internship and your modules after year 2 much more directed into the event management industry. But it could also be food and beverage, or it could be more generic. It could be other modules. So within the internship, within the choice modules, your management internship and your thesis, you're able to kind of direct your study in the direction that you feel more comfortable. Lotte, do you know what you're going to do after this?
Well, actually, a bit. Well, I know I'm interested in marketing and finance. So I know that I want to go that direction, but don't know for sure exactly what I want to do in which company. I think I have to find that out, and let's see what is after the crisis, because we don't know.
No, that's absolutely fair. Yeah, I think this corona problems are really severe for our business, of course, for any business in the world. And hopefully will everybody stay safe and healthy. And once we're out of this problematic situation, we hopefully our business can build up again. So I hope to see also new opportunities coming up. This situation also learns us to work differently. So I can assume that, especially being a student in this business, there's much you can add to this industry to look at renewing this industry, and that is the positive part. Apart from all the horrible things that happen, I think that is the possible part. The positive part. Good that Lotte is saying marketing and economics. It was so I mean, if whether it is you focus on a certain topic, or students say I want to be general manager in a hotel in the future, it doesn't matter that much. You can, as long as during your studies you find out there's certain talents you have, and using those talents will be form the basis of your choice later on. A lot of you could work at Schiphol, for instance, and use that in leading an airline, for instance, or do the same things on marketing and finance in a totally different area.
It's true.
Doing this education and your internships, and I think that's the nice thing is that your internship will also lead you to, oh, this is not what I want, or this is exactly what I want, or these are the elements that I like.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I had that experience.
I know.
I was at Tenerife, and it was beforehand I thought, well, luxurious hotel, amazing, and I'm going to work there. But actually I didn't like the big hotel at all. It was luxurious. Guests are demanding. And I didn't like that. I now I know that if I will work in the future in some hotel, I want to work in a small hotel, not part of a chain. Just also that you're able to make your own decisions, and not that you have to follow a whole list of rules and regulations and procedures. And that was my experience.
Well, that's good. I mean, I had kind of the same. I did hotel school myself a long time ago, and I always thought that I would work for Hilton. That was my ultimate dream. So when I started, when I came into the fourth year and I had to choose the internship, I also applied for a job at Hilton, and I wasn't hired. And then I started reflecting on, okay, is it maybe I don't fit the Hilton as I thought I would, and I ended up at Golden Tulip Barbizon Palace in Amsterdam, and which I had never thought of before as an option. But when I started working there, I found out that this company suits me much better, and I also found out that I liked sales and marketing, and the combination of the company and the topic sales and marketing was the successful combination for me. So the lesson to be learned from this is that, during your education, you can try and just do things and try and find out whether they fit you or not. The result is that you find out where your talent is. So doing these different things within your education, different internships, different situations, will teach you to find that out for yourself, and indeed not create a student who equals to the 100 equal students, but we'd like to help you to grow in your and stay the individual you are with your own talents, but hospitality as the binding factor. All right, it is now close to 11. We already talked 50 minutes longer than the official session, so we are able to continue until 11:15, because then the session will be closed automatically. There's still people online. Is there anyone of you having questions? It could be anything: practical questions, study questions, questions to me or to Lotte on experiences. Please go ahead. No more? Okay. Oh, there.
Oh,
Cost.
yeah.
Oh, there we go. Can you get a what is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cost of the study. Yeah, Christian. Cost of the study is where are you from, Christian? Christian, it depends a bit on how much is the costs are, because if you pay the tuition fee, it's a sponsored tuition fee. If you look at the tuition fee you pay, I think you paid €2,000, something like that per year, Lotte.
Yeah, that's for Dutch students.
Yeah.
He's from
Oh,
Curaçao.
Curaçao. Yeah. Then I think that applies. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that applies. So Dutch students under Dutch law or European law, they pay the tuition fee, which is around 2,000. If it's non-funded, it's more. So you pay the tuition fee. There are extra costs added on that. In the first year, you will go on a trip that will cost you study trip that will cost you €375. So tuition fee.
Let's check. I think I can find it for you.
Oh, I think it's in the slides, isn't it?
Well, I think I can find it on my Saxion.
Okay. Yeah, could you have a look? So it's the study trip, tuition fee. You have to have a suit. The suit is around 250, 300, but Lotte's going to find out exactly how much. And then the books, the study books, it's up to you what you order. Some people use things online and have a library online which they use, but you can also purchase the real books. I always advise you to have some of the books at least, especially marketing and business economics. They will last 4 years long. And those are the basic costs. You don't need any other things to buy for using our kitchen downstairs in the restaurant or other things there. So that's actually it. Sam, you ask, can you get a propedeutical exam? Yes, you get. So the propeduise after 1 year, 60 credits. If you make all the tests, if you pass for all the exams, you reach 60 credits and you get your propedeutical exam, which is an official document actually. Did you find anything, Lotte?
Yeah, for students who are not from EU or EER countries.
Yeah.
So I think Curaçao, yeah, that's also Curaçao. It's an amount of €7,800 a year. And extra costs, I found it as well. Let's check. Extra costs are for the study trip around €350, €400, and for books, clothes, the suit, etc. It's 840 estimated.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. But that's for your whole for your career 4 years. So it's not per year, the 840, but it's for the full 4 years.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, there's still people online. Let me double check whether there's more questions.
So Christian, you can also find it on the Saxion website. If you search for hotel management, you can find all the costs over there.
Great. Okay, I think there's a few people left still with us. I'm just gonna ask. Oh, number 2 is out. So I'm just gonna ask if there's any questions left. Aurelia, Christian, Demi, Helena, Larifa, Bakker, I think, and Tina. Is there any questions you have left, or is everything clear? Talk to me in the chats. I'm good. Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It's clear, thanks. Okay, good. Yeah. It's such a pity actually that we can't meet you in person because
Yeah.
that's the best thing we can do normally. So and if everything is clear, I think we and there's no questions left, then I think it might be wise to close the session. Okay, thanks for all the answers. I see that everybody's clear. I hope you liked it, and I hope you get the answers you needed. If not, please talk to us through our website to get in touch with us and find your answers.
Also,
Yeah.
we could use this website. I will
Mhm.
to ask
Yeah.
questions to students, or questions that pop up in your mind. Just ask them over there.
Great. Well, thank you, Lotta. And then
My pleasure. Thank you.
and I hope to see see all the students next year then that participated in our session. Thanks very much.
Would be nice.
Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you soon.